If simply making more money solved money problems, then people making $300,000 a year or more wouldn't be struggling. But according to this recent survey data, roughly 40% of households making between $300,000 and $500,000 still describe themselves as living paycheck to paycheck. What? And no, it's not because they're buying too many lattes or shopping at the nicer grocery store. It's because they fell into a trap that nobody talks about. And if you're making six figures right now, you're probably closer to this trap than you might think. My name's Chris Wendt. I worked in corporate finance for over a decade. My wife and I paid off $43,000 of debt in just 13 months, and now we've built up a net worth to over $800,000. And I help families build their own personal money systems to help them find hundreds, even thousands extra dollars a month hiding in their finances. And in this video, I want to talk about why so many of these high earners are falling into this trap and the 3-step process that you can use starting today to start digging yourself out of it. When people hear that 40% of 300K plus earners are living paycheck to paycheck, they just immediately say, oh, that's impossible. Oh, they have a spending problem. They're so irresponsible. Just stop buying expensive stuff. I know that was the reaction inside of my personal finance community when I shared this data, but I think that's oversimplifying it, because here's what actually happened. No one wakes up one morning and be like, you know what? I'd love to feel financially trapped. I'd love to start being a little more financially irresponsible. Instead, it just kind of happens one decision at a time, right? You upgrade your house, then you furnish it. Of course, the property tax go up, the insurance goes up. Then you got to do the landscaping, right? Because you got a bigger place, and it's like, well, I don't want to do it. And then you have the private swimming lessons for the kids, the vacations, the newer cars, the hobbies, the subscriptions, and all of that just kind of becomes normal, becomes part of life. The expenses start building up. And Goldman Sachs, the ones that did that survey that I talked about in the beginning of this video, call this the financial vortex. And they define that as competing financial priorities that may affect one's retirement savings. Think about it as small individual choices that become obligations, regularities in life, and they're now layered into the day-to-day operations. And that's exactly what I personally see with many of the families that I work with. They're not bad people, definitely not. They're not irresponsible people, definitely not. They've just slowly built things into their life that they feel like become non-negotiables, and then they get to a point and they don't know how to get out of it. But then we just get into this cycle of, oh, I just need to make a little more, because this is the biggest mistake that people make, right? When I make more money, oh, I'll finally start saving. I'll finally start investing. When I get that promotion that they've been dangling over me for years, right? Everything will just be a little easier if I just a little bit longer. But if you haven't built a personal money system yet, the extra income that you're hoping will just come in and magically solve anything will turn into just bigger expenses. It will magnify the challenges, the problems that already exist. And it becomes in this cycle of like, more is never enough, because you make more and then you find a way to spend it because you think it's a valuable way to spend your money. The problem was never income. The problem was having no intentional plan for their income. But that ends today, because let's talk through the 3-step process that you can start implementing right now. And this might be contrarian to what a lot of people say online in the personal finance space, where people say like, oh, just cut everything. Oh, budget harder. Stop buying coffee, rice and beans. That's a horrible way to think about it. So what most people do is they look forward when they're thinking about their financial goals and how they're going to reach them. But what I found is actually looking back is the best, most productive thing that people can do first. And I think that Sandy and Gemma would completely agree after their results in the 6-week money challenge. But here's how it works. You're going to go back the last 3 months, bank statements, credit cards, everywhere that you've spent money, because most people never actually see where their money actually goes. And until you see it, you can't change it. And now, before AI, this process would have taken someone hours to complete, depending on how many different accounts that they had to go through, right? If you think about it, you download the PDFs, you have to go through manually, track it on a thing, and do the thing. The power of AI has changed everything. So inside my community here, I have my members use this prompt. So you can either pause the video now or take a look at it inside my personal finance community, which is linked on the homepage of my YouTube channel. And basically what it's going to do is you're going to copy and paste your transactions into AI with this prompt, and it's going to spit it out in this table format here. So basically just the date of the transaction, the month, the amount, the category, and a description. And now this is taking people that go through this about 30 minutes. Even still, depending on how many accounts they have, which is really cool. Now, for step 2, what I want you to do is really ask yourself, what matters to me? Could be life goals, financial goals, non-negotiables, things like retirement, travel, kids' education, paying off debt, your health, family experiences, any one of those things, all the above. I've seen so many different things, even to the point of like expensive haircuts. Like they go to this specific person, it's a non-negotiable for them. So literally anything could be on this list, okay? So you write them down on your North Star goals list, because any ship that's sitting in a harbor can set sail, but the ones that know where they're going won't get lost at sea. Huh? That's a pretty good analogy. Because if you don't decide where your money should go, your spending will decide for you. Now for step 3, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be comparing what we did in the 3-month look back. So where have we been spending our money, to our North Star's goal list, right? Where do we want to be putting more resources? And we don't look at this from like a place of guilt or shame, just with honesty, right? And we just ask ourselves, like, which categories deserve more? Which deserve the same? Which deserve less? And this realignment step, that's the name of step 3, realignment. It's honestly where the magic happens. The first time that people do this, they're realizing they're spending way too much in categories that they're telling themselves they don't care about, and not enough in places that they do. And that's where the more, same, less comes in. We want to be pushing more money towards things that matter to us, that are on our North Star goal list. We want to do same for things like utilities that you're probably not that passionate about, but it's like, well, I kind of need to have Wi-Fi. I like watching YouTube videos, right? And then less, or even eliminate things where we're spending way too much in, and we're literally telling ourselves, oh, this category, this thing doesn't matter to us at all. Because we're not cutting spending just to cut spending. That's not going to work. It never does. It never has. We're moving money from things that we don't care about to things that we do. And that's how people are literally finding $200, $500, $1,000 extra dollars a month without a raise, without a side hustle, without selling that weird thing in your basement on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're in that paycheck to paycheck statistic, like I mentioned before, even if you're not making $300,000, but it feels like, oh, I'm making way too much money to be feeling stuck like this, but you're not sure where to start, check out the link below this video. There's gonna be more information about the 6-week money challenge that I'm currently doing. I've opened up some new spots, and we're gonna uncover the one thing holding you back and share a custom roadmap, just like I did with Sandy, who found $1,200 after going through this challenge, and Gemma, who's never saved this amount of money in her entire life. So if that sounds interesting, just make sure to book a call. If not, there's more information in this video right here.